It's a very common question. How much is my case worth? Well, after an automobile accident, there's a few different ways to figure this out. One of the easiest ways is to go through a checklist. And this checklist is usually liability and damages. You need both of these things in order to prove your case and in order to get any compensation. Liability is first, is the other vehicle at fault? Or is there any fault of your own? A lot of times accidents happen and maybe both drivers did something wrong, but one did more than the other. If you have to get this sorted out in order to prove that the other car was at fault and to see whether there's any comparative fault on your own. Another way to look at it is to see what your damages are. How bad are your damages? It's easy to say, well, if I broke my arm, or if I got an injury that is a torn ligament, or somehow I got a head injury, that you should get a set amount for each of these things. But you really got to look at the context of those injuries. How severe was it? Meaning, is it permanent? How long did it last? What was the suffering involved? A lot of times you could break an arm and be better in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, or sometimes it doesn't heal right and it's going to take years to get better. All of these factors you have to look at. So there is no real answer about, yes, plug in this injury and get that amount. There are rough estimates, but these are only because those injuries produce consistent results as far as pain and suffering and permanence go. In your own case, you really need to talk to an attorney to help you figure this out. So that way that you can have an idea of what your case is worth and build towards that as far as your case is concerned, and make sure that you get the compensation you deserve. A lot of times insurance companies will try to give you an offer right off the bat. You'll go on, you'll look at a calculator online, and you'll say, oh, that's a good settlement, that's a bad settlement. You really got to call an attorney to make sure that all of these things are taken into consideration to get the maximum amount for your damages.